Kai, I know that you were involved in some ministry and just, you know, living your life day to day, and you started this project called To Be Brown and Be a Christian. And so how did you start this project?
Oh gosh. I feel like there was never any plan to start it. Mm-hmm. I never had any intentions of starting like a project or a movement or whatever. I think I was passionate about something, and it irked me so much that I got to a point where I didn't know what to do about anything. Mm-hmm. Like, I was like, this is too big for me to handle. I'm one human being. Mm-hmm. I care about this too much. Blah, 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 blah. And so I just got so frustrated. Like, I got to a point of frustration where it was like, okay, now I have to do something, or I can't wake up and not be anxious and stressed. Yeah. And so I was at church, and someone asked me about, it was after the shooting in El Paso, and that just really hit home for me. And so I was at church, and a girl asked me, what are we supposed to do now? And I, at the time, had absolutely no idea. And then I was talking to another friend of mine, and he was just like, well, like, you just tell them what it means to be brown and a Christian. And it sparked this idea of like, oh, I'll just ask my friends who are people of color, like, what's your experience being in the world, like living your everyday life? What is it like? What does it mean to follow Jesus and also be someone who constantly has a target on their back, no matter where they go in the world? Yeah. So that's kind of how I started it, and it just kept going from there. So it wasn't like planned out or anything at all. Yeah. But yeah, I just asked my friends and people who want to be a part of it, what does it mean to be brown and a Christian? But also, what does it mean to be brown? I don't really care too much if you know the Lord or not. Like, your truth still matters. So
yeah, that's good.
That's how it kind of came to life.
That's good. Yeah, I dig that. So what have you walked through and experienced feeling maybe underqualified to have a voice in this area, but also it's like real. How have you given other people that you've been talking to about this topic the power to use their voice?
Yeah, I mean, I am not, I didn't go to college. I graduated high school and, did a bunch of things, but whatever. I feel like, and sometimes I still feel unqualified to start something and to be in charge of something and over something, and I actually just realized, it's not my thing, it's just a vision from the Lord. And so I'm not really in charge of anything or really doing anything, because if the Lord wanted to, he'd be like, you're done, and I'd be like, okay, I'm done. So I think the most important part for me is I might not be super qualified, I might not have all the answers or have all the experience, but essentially it's God's heart that he wants to highlight, and my job is just to give people the space to be able to do that. Yeah. And so, I honestly am probably not the most qualified to do it, but it's not about me. So there's that. And then I just, I love when people get to share, and when they transform from keeping things in, hiding truth, and not living fully as themselves. I hate that. And so it's a huge passion of mine to be able to make people feel safe enough to a point where they're able to share really hard things and really good things and really mediocre things. And I just ask people, and I want to get in their space and create a relationship with them. And cool. That's kind of what I do.
That's dope. So what would you say to the people of color that haven't been featured on To Be Brown and Be Christian, and or the people that, not necessarily aren't even Christian, that are just someone of color, and that you would want to say to them moving forward with your project, or just in general in their life?
I think just in general, I would say to anyone of color that you matter, you're really important, and people do see you, and that you
people
have
want to hear you.
Yeah, you have an incredible perspective. Whether you realize it or not, you have incredible perspective and experience that other people really just don't have. And there's such huge problems in the world, like racism and white supremacy and just hate in general, where you actually have such a big opportunity to be a vital piece in reversing hate and racism and white supremacy. And so I think I would just say you're really, really important, and your voice matters and your story matters.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah. What would you say to the white Christians or the white people, and how to love better and how to listen better and how to put our ignorance out on the table?
I think you just said it. One, there's always grace for everyone.
There is grace.
And even like whether or not people extend it.
Yeah.
Like, don't let grace, which is something that overcomes like any natural thing, like understand even if people don't extend grace, that there is grace. Like, grace goes further than just the human itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I would just say, like, you're also super vital and important in reversing racism and hate and white supremacy. Without one or the other, we can't really function. It's like, what is it, Romans 12, where one part of the body can't work without the other part of the body.
Yeah.
So on, so on.
Somewhere.
Something like that.
In the Bible.
It's in Romans. You should look it up. But no, I would just say educate yourself, do the work, create friendships and relationships with people who are really different from you.
Preach.
Don't like go get yourself like a black best friend because you want to feel cultured. Just create relationships and go into spaces that are not the usual for you.
My encouragement to the people out there, whether you know Jesus or you don't know Jesus, is step out of your comfort zone and go get around people and things that are different than you, and expose yourself to the reality around you, because it's not about you. It's not about us, and I think that that's one of the biggest hearts behind me starting this project, is just like allowing people to have more of like an outside perspective to understand that there are things happening around them. Okay, it's not just about your commute to work every morning. It's not just about what you're eating for dinner later. It's not just about even your family. It's about the people around you. Like, we need each other, okay? We need people that don't know Jesus. We need people that do know Jesus. We need everyone all over the world, all bodies, all walks of life, all people. There's no like scale. It's just humans. And so I'm excited to see what's going to happen through this project and through this opportunity. And shameless plug, go check out To Be Brown and Be a Christian through Kai's Instagram, and just go show some love on there and just go read. Also, this book, I can't read that word.
White Fragility.
White Fragility is a book, and it's about why it's so hard for white people to talk about racism. And go check that book out. Also, big pro tip that I've learned in ministry because of just being white and just trying to love everybody, is a big thing that I try to do is just put my ignorance out on the table and just be as humble coming into the situation as I possibly can, and ask to clarify and never assume, and just try to love people the best I can and learn through the process. But yeah, we're stoked. God loves you.
Deuces.
Yeah.